The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Books, beauty products, science, fashion, and glam talk. From Bollywood to Hollywood, it's Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on W4WN Radio, the Women for Women Network. And here's your host, international speaker, educator, award-winning entrepreneur, and best-selling author, Dr. Afshan N. Hashmi.
Hello, viewers around the globe. This is your loving, best-selling author and host, Dr. Afshan Hashmi, live from W4WN studio in Louisiana. And this is the number one women's network show, and like that is the number one radio station, and I'm live on Talk for TV also. So if you are listening, it is very good. If you are not, then just I wanted to tell you, go to w4wnradio.com, and you will see it on their website, and you have to download an app. Having said that, friends, I wanted to remind you that have you bought my two books? The first one was The Modern Mughal Mentality, New Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace. And the second one was The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection. And friends, these two books were Amazon bestsellers, and I know many of you have bought these books but haven't given me a review. Please go and give me an honest review. And if you haven't bought these two books are great. And I am looking that my listeners please buy these two books and give me an honest review. And the first book, this one, The Modern Mughal Mentality, is a business book. And if you put my mantra in that, in your business, you will be very successful. And when this book came, there was lot of studies going in Harvard and Stanford University about jugaad, the Hindi buzzword. So I have conceptualized jugaad as thinking outside the box and devised a new business model. And this one, The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, came in 2019, and February 2019, when there was no trace of coronavirus. And in a very unique, cozy mystery, I have devised like what bioterrorism can do and what viruses can harm the human population as coronavirus is doing. So I just wanted to educate my viewers in this also, in a fictional story, that how bioterrorism can harm you and a virus spreads here. And also I am looking for producers and like who can make like some in Netflix or Roku or any of the web series, Amazon or Hollywood, that if you are listening, then I want this to be made into a movie of this, my second book, The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, or a TV serial. So please contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com, and my website is www.afshanhashmi.com or www.drafshanhashmi.com, and my radio show website is http slash www.drafshanhashmisradio.com. Having said that, friends, this is what I am looking for, a TV serial or a web series or a movie. and I have got this evaluated this book by Tailflakes, and they say that this book is like Contagion and Crazy Rich Asians. So if you want, I can send you that link where they have evaluated it and put it in their library and curated it. Having said that, friends, let me read little bit from The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, and I will read little bit from chapter 1, and it says 1964 to 2018. In a sprawling bungalow in Potomac, Maryland, USA, lived Dr. Honey Singh, a board certified internal medicine and family practice physician, along with his beautiful wife, Baby Singh. Baby Singh was a fashionista and was funding women's causes through her Honey Babe Foundation. She had a ladies' book club by the name of Baby's Glam and Glitzy Club, which had many glam and glitzy ladies who were professionals living in Washington, D.C., Potomac, Maryland, Virginia, and even Beverly Hills, California, as well as elites from all of America, meeting at her place on the last Wednesday of every month, discussing various aspects of charities they wanted her and Dr. Honey to fund. In this club, there was a wide spectrum of career women. There were doctors, lawyers, actresses, business owners, and models, to name a few. So I have read from this book, and these two books, are also in Kindle, Nook, paperback, and audiobooks, and I have narrated these two audiobooks. So if you have need to narrate your audiobooks, do hire me and go to my website www.afshanhashmi.com and see what kind of services I offer. I can interview you on my this show, and authors and publishers, and if you get and cosmetic and beauty products, you get promoted to 300 million listeners, and I charge a very nominal price. And so please go to your www.afshanhashmi.com and know what price I charge, and I am looking for a sponsorship for this show. So sponsors of beauty companies, Hollywood producers, Bollywood producers, and anybody, please go to this website and see what kind of services I offer. Having said that, friends, now I will go in a commercial break and will be back soon.
Would you love exposure for your business, product, or service to over 300 million potential listeners? Send an email to info@talk4media.com. And now let's hear from some of our sponsors.
Chapter 2: How Jugaad Leads to Multi-Sector Success Stories in India, including definitions of the Jugaad Management Principle business model. Of the book The Modern Mughal Mentality, New Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace. Inspiration. True Jugaad is an inspiration on how to create products using technology that meet the price-value equation. According to a Harvard Business Review article featuring expert Prahlad and Mashelkar, most innovation programs are built on the assumptions of affluence and abundance. We see the rich and the young in both the developed and the developing countries demanding environmental friendly products and services. They also believe that affordability and sustainability are crucial to driving successful business today. New technologies and radical business models are important not only to penetrate mass markets in India but in the entire world. By reconfiguring all areas of the business structure, they will pull.
A monstrous infection is spreading worldwide. OMG, is this a simple infection or a deliberate attempt to ruin the human population?
Or maybe it's bioterrorism. What is this global infection and who is spreading it? Help us find out. Go to Amazon and search for The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection. The human race needs your help to make this go viral. Go to Amazon.com and read The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection to find out what happens next. Go now! The world is depending on you.
And now, back to Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show.
So, viewers, there is a question here, and I really like this question. Do you feel it is hard to make a book into a movie? Nothing is hard if you think that you can do it. And of course, it is very hard because I feel like, book into movie is only if you publish with big publishers or if you are a big celebrity. But this was my dream since childhood, and I'm trying to achieve my dream since childhood. So, and there is no like path, like single path, like what how to make book into a movie. And I didn't even know that there is a company by Tailflix which curates your movies. So I found out that, and if anybody is making that, they can go and see, and I will put my link here, like on my website. I will put the link and you can read. They gave me a very good review. So what they do is they curate in their library, and people like Hollywood producers and producers around the world, they come to that library and see for books. For now, I haven't received any offers, and of course, it is very difficult, but I am trying. So, if any movie producer is listening, then please contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com. And then let me see, there was no. For now, this is the question only I have, and I like interacting with my listeners. So please send me as many questions as you can. And now, today, I have curated, like it is a Bollywood series, I have curated through books. And the book I am going to talk about is this coffee book, and I have bought it with my own money. Nobody has paid for it. And even if somebody would have paid for it, I would always choose the books which I give my honest review. So I will be reading from this book and let you know my thoughts, because I love to do book reviews. And if you have any of your books to be reviewed, just send it to me, and information is at www.afshanhashmi.com. Having said that, let me read. This came out. Having said that, let me read, friends, from this. What is Bollywood? Hindi cinema, often known as Bollywood and formerly as Bombay cinema, is the Indian Hindi language film industry based in Mumbai, formerly Bombay. The term is a portmanteau of Bombay and Hollywood. The industry is related to cinema of South India and other Indian film industries, making up Indian cinema, the world's largest by number of feature films produced. In 2017, Indian cinema produced 1,986 feature films, with Bollywood at its largest filmmaker producing 364 Hindi films the same year. Bollywood represents 43% of Indian net box office revenue. Tamil and Telugu cinema represent 36%, and the remaining regional cinema cinema constituted 21% in 2014. Bollywood is one of the largest centers of film production in the world. In 2001, ticket sales Indian cinema, including Bollywood, reportedly sold an estimated 3.6 billion tickets worldwide compared to Hollywood's 2.6 billion tickets sold. Bollywood films tend to use vernacular Hindustani mutually intelligible by people who self identify as speaking either Hindi or Urdu, and modern Bollywood movies increasingly incorporates elements of English. English is something like a mixture of Hindi and English. The most popular commercial genre in Bollywood since the 1970s has been the masala film, which freely mixes different genres including action, comedy, romance, drama, and melodrama, along with musical numbers. Masala films generally fall under the musical film genre, of which Indian cinema has been the largest producer since the 1960s when it exceeded the American film industry's total musical output after musical films declined in the West. The first Indian musical talkie was Alamara in 1931, several years after the first Hollywood musical talkie, The Jazz Singer 1927, alongside commercial masala films. A distinctive genre of art films known as parallel cinema has also existed, presenting realistic content and avoidance of musical numbers. In more recent years, the distinction between commercial cinema and parallel cinema has been gradually blurring, with an increasing number of mainstream films adopting the conventions which were once strictly associated with parallel cinema. Hindi cinema of so now this was about Bollywood, and I am going in a commercial break, and then after that I will bring that book and read from that book and show you beautiful pictures, and it can be a very good coffee table book, and I really like this book. So just stick wherever you are and listen just to what I have to say. Thank you, and I will be back after the commercial break.
Would you love exposure for your business, product, or service to over 300 million potential listeners? Send an email to info@talk4media.com. And now let's hear from some of our sponsors.
A monstrous infection is spreading worldwide. Oh my God, is this a simple infection or a deliberate attempt to ruin the human population? Or maybe it's bioterrorism. What is this global infection and who is spreading it? Help us find out. Go to Amazon and search for The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection. The human race needs your help to make this go viral. Go to Amazon.com and read The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection to find out what happens next. Go now. The world is depending on you.
The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection, Chapter 1, 1964 to 2018, and this is the sample track, and it is read by Dr. Afshan Hashmi. In a sprawling bungalow in Potomac, Maryland, USA, lived Dr. Honey Singh, a board-certified internal medicine and family practice physician, along with his beautiful wife, Baby Singh. Baby Singh was a fashionista and was funding women's causes through her Honey Bay Foundation. She had a ladies' book club by the name of Baby's Glam and Glitzy Club, which had many glam and glitzy ladies who were professionals living in Washington, D.C., Potomac, Maryland, Virginia, and even Beverly Hills, California, as well as elites from all of America meeting at her place on the last Wednesday of every month discussing various aspects of charities they wanted her and Dr. Honey to fund. In this club, there was a wide spectrum of career women. There were doctors, lawyers, actresses, business owners, and models, to name a few. In these book club meetings, members would come prepared after reading a book of a famous woman author, and that author was even invited from any part of the world to give her presentation, followed by a Q&A in this prestigious and elite gathering.
And now, back to Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show.
So now we have two questions, and I'm going to answer those questions. And it says, where do we find these movies you are telling us about? Contagion was a very famous Hollywood movie, and it was a great blockbuster. And there also a virus spreads and ruins the human population. So you can find it wherever from like Netflix or Amazon or wherever you go to buy movies, and DVDs and all. And Crazy Rich Asian also from Amazon, and that because here in my book a rich family is involved. There are many bad characters who are after this rich family, and so they compared it Telflix to Crazy Rich Asians and Contagion. So you can go and look. They both were blockbuster movies from Hollywood. So if you Google it, you will know that where to find it. Okay, and then it says like about the script. Okay. Is it hard to get book published? Yes, it is very hard to get book published, but I didn't want to do it through like traditional publishers, because they really take big celebrities and all. And it's like I was no celebrity at that time or anything. And so I went ahead and did my self publishing. I published my own books, and with the experience I have in digital marketing and all, it became a bestseller. So it's a lot of hard work. If you have those kind of needs, like contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com, and I will answer that. And then there was like a script question. Okay, I have to see that question. Would you say writing a book is profitable? It depends. It's very hard, like to make a book profitable. I didn't have like a job, so and I am PhD in biochemistry, so I really didn't have any other option to show that I am also productive. So I wrote a book, and I had these ideas because I like to be busy. I am a career woman, and that's why I wrote this book. Okay, there was a script question. I cannot see it right now that where it went, but Uh, there is another question. Do you find it everyone can write a book? Of course, if you have an idea, you can expand on it. And I give consulting on writing a best selling book. So you can consult me in a very nominal price, that what it is. So, friends, That is the other thing. Now the other question is, do you have to write a script for the movie, or does it go from the book? No, it is, the book is changed into a movie, but the, like, writing a book and writing a script is different. So what my idea is, like, usually what happens, that somebody comes and they buy the licensing rights, and it depends upon them. I can tell them that I will do the script of the movie, and if they agree to that, I definitely want to write the script of the movie, because I am a full time writer. But if they don't agree to that, then it is a different, completely different story. But I would definitely want to write a script of the movie. And although I have never done this, but it is not a difficult thing for a writer. And sometimes they involve you being the director of the film, because the writer knows the books ins and out, and what characters have to be developed, and everything the writer knows. So they always involve the writer, but in what capacity, that depends once the book is sold. So if any movie producer or Bollywood producer or Hollywood producer is listening, then please contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com. Having said that, friends, and then there is another question: how long does it take to write a how long does it take to write a book? It depends. Like, there are so many unknowns in book. You have to develop everything, and then like, I was having author blog. Like, some days I can write pages and pages of the book, and some days I couldn't write anything. So that's a very good question. There is no definite answer, but you can contact me if you need a consulting on that at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com. Having said that, let's start talking about this book. And it is a coffee table book, and I really liked it. Just see how beautiful it is, and it attracted me. So now let's read. Just see how beautiful it is. The photographs are beautiful, and it tells you the Bollywood story in a very nice manner. For me, being born in India, Bollywood was one thing that I really liked. I am into, like, I have been a very studious and intellectual person, and whenever, like, always coming first in my class. So, like, whenever I used to have time, talking about Bollywood is something to de-stress out. And today's environment of COVID-19, everybody is so stressed out. So I thought to curate a show on Bollywood which people can enjoy. So this forward of the book, just see the beautiful picture in the book, is written by a superstar, Amitabh Bachchan. And it says, I abhor the title of this book. The Indian film industry is what I shall always refer to as cinema in India. We are an independent creative industry, and not a derivative. Any attempt to imply otherwise shall not find favor with me, but the absence of any kind of film documentation is another malaise that has been of great concern to me, one that I lament greatly. So this is just a part of the introduction, and then Amitabh has signed it. Amitabh is like a legend in Hindi cinema, and there are so many action packed movies of Amitabh Bachchan which you can see and you will really enjoy. Then comes, see how this is Anarkali. So this is a very big character of Madhubala, and this movie is also a legend movie. So just see how beautiful it is. And here I will read about the introduction. And Madhubala, like even today, when Madhubala was the heroine, I was not even born, but everyone knows Anarkali. So just see how beautiful this picture is. And she was so beautiful, like simple, very graceful and beautiful lady. Okay, it says heart rending stories, hair raising action, dynamic heroes, passionate heroines, and a glorious visual aesthetic that makes everything seem larger than life. The Bollywood film can transport its audience to a world where anything is possible and where dreams really can come true. Song and dance are part of the escapism, together with energetic performances, vibrant costuming, and a rich sentimental theme that plays on the emotions of the viewer and overwhelms the senses. It is no surprise that Bollywood has entranced Indian cinema goers for more than a century, and that India's unique approach to filmmaking has been a major influence in Hollywood and beyond. So it is a big introduction, but I just read a part of it. And here is Pradeep Kumar. So he was not in that movie, but he was in Taj Mahal. So this is a Taj Mahal thing here. But this, she was an Arkali, a very Madhubala, and a very famous character. And then they show the beginning from 1913 to 1950 of the Bollywood cinema. And I will read little bit from the films which I are iconic films, and I'm going into a break and will be back soon.
Would you love exposure for your business, product, or service to over 300 million potential listeners? Send an email to info@talkformedia.com. And now let's hear from some of our sponsors.
Chapter 2, How Jugaad Leads to Multi-Sector Success Stories in India, including definitions of the Jugaad Management Principle business model. Of the book The Modern Mughal Mentality, New Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace. Inspiration. True Jugaad is an inspiration on how to create products using technology that meet the price-value equation. According to a Harvard Business Review article featuring expert Prahlad and Mashelkar, most innovation programs are built on the assumptions of affluence and abundance. We see the rich and the young in both the developed and the developing countries demanding environmental friendly products and services. They also believe that affordability and sustainability are crucial to driving successful business today. New technologies and radical business models are important not only to penetrate mass markets in India but in the entire world. By reconfiguring all areas of the business structure, they will full.
A monstrous infection is spreading worldwide. OMG, is this a simple infection or a deliberate attempt to ruin the human population? Or maybe it's bioterrorism. What is this global infection and who is spreading it? Help us find out. Go to Amazon and search for The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection. The human race needs your help to make this go viral. Go to Amazon.com and read The Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection to find out what happens next. Go now! The world is depending on you.
And now, back to Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show.
So this is the story of the beginning of Hindi cinema. So I will read couple of lines from here. the beginning. The first decades of Indian cinema saw pioneering efforts to help Indian film find its feet, lay down its technical foundations, and create its own cinematic language. India got its first look at moving pictures as early as July 7, 1896, when films made by the Lumiere brothers of France were screened at the Westin Hotel in Mumbai. Through the early efforts of pioneers, Indian cinema became to slowly find its roots. So, this was that, and then I just then there are a couple of Indian actors, legend actors, when I was not born, these were the people who were very, very famous actors, and this was a very famous movie on where Dalip Kumar was there, and Dalip Kumar, all his name is film name is Dalip Kumar, but his actual name is Yusuf Khan, and he was very, very popular. So was this Guru Dutt, like the Pyasa movie was very, very famous. And then Naya Daur, again Dalip Kumar, and Naya Daur means new era. So it has beautiful posters and all, and it's really then comes Mother India, another very famous movie of Nargis, and here is Rajendra Kumar and Sunil Dutt in this movie, and it was also very popular movie. And then Kishore Kumar was a very, very famous singer, and he was an actor also. So, this is like Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi, and these all are very classic movies. So, they have then comes, I was telling you about Anarkali. So, it comes about Mughal Azam, and Anarkali was a character, she was a courtesan, and Dalip Kumar was the prince. So, let me read little bit from here. K. Asif's magnum opus has it all, a rebellious love story set against the splendor of the Mughal court, a high voltage clash between an emperor and his son, and a tragic ending that takes the unrequited romance to mythic heights. So, this is even today when Mughal Azam, first it was in black and white, and then few years back they made it colored, and it is so good. Like, even today, people watch it. Like, there are so many Mughal Azam fans, and recently they made a stage play also. Then comes my famous actor Rajesh Khanna. Whenever I am stressed out, I just listen to Rajesh Khanna, and you won't believe my hubby resembles Rajesh Khanna so much, and that was the thing why I got attracted to my hubby. So, he looks so much like Rajesh Khanna, and Rajesh Khanna was also a hero when I was like a very small child, So it is like from 1961 to 73, but he was the first like superstar, and there was this glamour and all that which came, and this is Saira Bano, the wife of Dalip Kumar, and enter the glamour, it says. And here is Shammi Kapoor from the famous Kapoor clan, and so I like these kind of movies. And here is and this Jungali movie, oh my God, Sharmila Tagore was introduced in this movie, and it is so popular even today. And it was shot in the beautiful valleys of Kashmir. So it is so beautiful. And then comes the bold and the beautiful Sharmila Tagore. Just see that India was so advanced that she is wearing this bikini in those days of 1960s. So just see, and even if you see this movie today, then you like it so much. And it says the bold and the beautiful in the 1960s, leading ladies of the silver screen were cosmopolitan and free like never before, ushering in a new kind of heroine in Indian cinema. So then comes guide. And this was again, Devanand was again a legend. He used to make movies and act in movies, and he had a very unique style. So this is the guide movie, and it was so good. Like, even if you watch it today, you feel that it was made when I was not even born, but when I watched it, I was so mesmerized with the movies. So the yesteryear's actors of Bollywood were so good. Then comes this Sahab Bibi or Ghulam. So it means like master, wife, and the servant. And it is also so good, this movie. Meena Kumari was in this, and then they write about Kishore Kumar. So it is kind of a tribute to the Indian cinema, and it is so good. Just see, now comes Aradhna. Oh my god, this movie was so good. I have watched it so many times. So I will read little bit from Aradhna. Aradhna uh, paired old fashioned melodrama with unconventional scenarios, a steel wheeled heroine with a fresh faced hero, and a soul stirring music with a strong plot line to become the top earner of 1969. And just see Rajesh Khanna looking so nice, and he resembles my hubby so much. Just see, he is looking so nice with Sharmila Tagore, and it was such a touching movie that I have watched it so many times. Then comes Hema Malini, and this movie is also like, she is wife of Dharminder, and for the first time, like in Hindus, you cannot marry, you cannot have two wives. So Hema Malini wanted to marry Dharminder, and so they became Muslims to marry, so this was the first time that a married hero had a Hindu hero had to marry second time. So this is so cool. And then comes this Pakiza movie. I have a story behind it. I watched this movie with the then Prime Minister of India, Shrimati Indira Gandhi, and I still cannot comprehend that I watched this movie with the Prime Minister of in the sitting Prime Minister of India, because my grandfather was a Congress leader, and he was very much friends with Mrs. Gandhi and her father Jawaharlal Nehru. So I was a kid, and I also got to have that experience, and which was such a unique experience. So let me read little bit about Pakiza. For the director Kamal Amrohi, Pakiza was more than just a film. It was an all consuming passion. It also created the role of a lifetime for his wife and lead actress Meena Kumari. And the songs are, my god, so beautifully done. And today also, if you watch this movie, like, it is wonderful. You are in a different world then. So having said that, friends, there are couple of more. Now comes this movie of today's actor Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan and Karan Johar, and this was another. So this is today's era movie, and we will continue our discussion in next Wednesday, because due to lack of time I cannot. So from today's actors, and there will be also there is another book, and I will not disclose its name, which I will bring if we have time, and we will go again with this in forward, and we will, so just come over next Wednesday at 6 p.m. US Eastern Time, and the time is only of 50 minutes here. So I have to wrap up. I know everybody is engrossed and enjoying, but due to lack of time, I have to wrap up. So I just wanted to remind you, friends, please go and buy my book, The Modern Mughal Mentality, New Strategies to Succeed in India and the Global Marketplace and the Outbreak of a Monstrous Infection. And if any Bollywood or Hollywood producers are listening, please contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com. And whoever is listening, if you want some author services, publishing services, or you want to sponsor your products or books or anything, then just contact me at Afshan at drafshanhashmi.com. Having said that, friends, now I will sign off from this episode, and cheers and bye bye. And here is my lucky cup through which I always say bye bye, because this is the cup when I first formed the company, and it is a lucky mascot for me. So bye bye.
You have been listening to Dr. Afshan Hashmi's radio show on W4WN Radio, the Women for Women Network. Tune in live right here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Would you love exposure for your business, product, or service to over 300 million potential listeners? Send an email at info@talk4media.com. And remember, if you missed any part of this show or want to hear it again, find our featured show on iHeartRadio, where all past episodes are available on demand 24/7. See you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.